I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't stack alone. Stacking is better with friends. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Sats Show. The show is over, but now it's back. Sorry, guys. I couldn't stop. I can't stop making videos about Bitcoin. Sorry, not sorry. I enjoy stacking daily so much. I enjoy having the avenue to express myself, I guess. Right. So, thanks for tuning in. I think I caught like a cold or something. But today, we're gonna do what we always do, which is stack sats. If you don't know what a sat is, I'll explain it to you in a second when we jump into the sat strength segment. Let's do that right now. Let's actually just do that right now. Sat strength. What up, J-Dub? J-Dub in the house. Shout out and round of applause from the live studio audience from J-Dub. Yeah, dude, I can't quit. I'm watching the numbers on the show, and although it's slow, it is steady growth. And I was watching the channel last night, and I was like, man, all right. And all of a sudden we're like at 130 something subscribers, right? Is it 134? And I went to bed last night, and I was like, all right, if I don't get any subscribers overnight, I'm not gonna do it. But it's growing, slow and steady. So we're gonna keep going. See what happens. Yeah, it might create other opportunities for me in my life down the road. Who knows? Anyway, today the price of Bitcoin is $42,919. At the current price, you can buy 2,330 Satoshis for a single dollar. And you might be asking yourself, what the heck is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar has 100 cents, just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So if you accumulate 100 million Satoshis, 100 million sats, you in essence have a whole Bitcoin, okay? It's not a different type of coin. It's the same type of coin, but it's just anything less than one Bitcoin is known as a Satoshi, okay? And when you get to one Bitcoin, you keep stacking on top of that. You can get 100 million Satoshi, 100 million and one Satoshis, and you'll have 1.701 Bitcoin, okay? So anyway, it's just an easier way to say Satoshis than it is to say 0.0001 Bitcoin. You can just say 1,000 Satoshis, right? All right. So that said, let's say you're minding your own business. You're walking down the street, minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and the day you'll have. Let's do that animation. 23 Satoshis. 23 Satoshis for a single penny. It's just another way for you to visualize the downfall of the dollar, the downfall of the penny. You're getting less and less sats for the same amount of Satoshis. Okay? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. All right. So let's talk a little bit about why we stack Bitcoin, yeah? Let's jump into the next segment, which we like to call. But first, hold on. Round of applause and shout out to Mr. Leonard. What up, Leonard? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for smashing the like, gentlemen. Remember, we still have Boltar in the chat. At any point during the stream, you can type in exclamation point. Exclamation point Boltar, and ask our resident Bitcoin maxi fortune teller, Boltar. You can ask him important questions, important life questions that you need advice on, right? Only the most important questions. All right, I'm going to ask him, Boltar, how much should I buy Bitcoin? I'm asking, should I buy Bitcoin? Should I buy more Bitcoin or get a motorcycle? Ooh. Motorcycle sounds nice. See what he says in the chat, if he's awake. Well, while Boltar's answering that question, let's get into the next segment, which we like to call Why We Stack. Right, and Why We Stack, we like to talk about the reason for even saving in Bitcoin, okay? And a lot of you in the stream have heard it before. I've heard it before. And you get it, right? But other people don't get it. It's hard for people to understand that the money they've worked so hard for is actually a tool to keep them poor, okay? I hear people complain about prices. I hear people complain about rent. I hear people complain about all kinds of stuff that I know deep down is caused by our broken money, right? But it's so difficult to get into that explanation of how the money is causing that ailment they're experiencing without them understanding the real basics, which is the basics of inflation. Yeah, people have heard of the word inflation, and a lot of people believe believe the hype or believe the misinformation out there that says that inflation is caused by us buying things. Inflation is caused by us wanting to do better, to get better jobs and more pay, so we can buy things we want, so we can buy things we need, right? They want people to believe that it's them, and in reality, it's the money that's the issue, right? The government is financing its debt by debasing the money, and that's the only way they can pay for that debt. That's the only way they can extend that debt, because at this point there's no way they can pay it, right? So when you save in dollars, you're letting your value that you're storing in those dollars get depleted and used by our government and by banks. And the only way that there is, the best way there is to conserve that purchasing power is to save in Bitcoin. Okay? If you have a big chunk of money and you want to get into real estate, that might be a way, right? But even now, real estate is not doing as well as Bitcoin, right? And you might say, well, real estate gives me positive cash flow because I can charge people rent for living in my second, third, fourth home or my condo, whatever, right? But even if you take that positive cash flow into consideration, you might have not taken into account the time it takes to manage that facility, the taxes you're going to pay each year for owning that property, the insurance you're going to need for owning that property and running renters out of it, right? And just basically, and also the interest payments on your loan, right? Yeah, you might be cash flow positive, but are you accounting for all of your time that it takes you to go and do repairs or, managing the facility, right? Who knows? Anyway, even with all that, the rate at which the real estate is going to appreciate is not as fast as the rate at which Bitcoin is going to appreciate, right? So, and you don't have any of the negative effects of physical property, right? So that's what we stack in Bitcoin. And although for a long time I believed that I wanted to like own a lot of buildings, I understand now more than ever that owning more buildings than you need to live in, I don't know, it's a form of wealth building, but in the end, do you really own that thing? Do you really own that property, right? And then if you say yes, the question then is, if you didn't pay your taxes on that, would you still own it, right? And if you don't pay your taxes on it, you don't own it. It'll get confiscated. So are you buying it or are you leasing it, right? And so once I buy my Bitcoin, once I buy my Sats, I don't need to pay anything extra or spending more time maintaining my stack, right? My stack is my own, and I don't need anybody else involved in managing it, right? So that's why it's important. It's important to point out those things, right? Because once your stack is in your possession, in your custody, there's no leaks to that wealth, right? It's not gonna get, you're not gonna get charged maintenance fees for holding it. It's in the you're your own bank at that point, right? So anyway, let's keep going with the show. If you guys have any questions, if you're watching the replay, put your questions in the chat, put your questions in the comments. I will answer your question on the next live stream. If you leave a comment with a question, okay? And if you like the show, do me a favor, subscribe, and share with your friends that are maybe starting to ask questions about Bitcoin, right? Maybe your friends that are curious about Bitcoin but don't really understand it, and you don't want to take the time to explain it to them. Send them over. I'll explain it to them. Okay, so that's what we're about. Okay, let's do the next segment of the show, which we like to call the stack recap. Oh yeah, because we're still stacking. I stacked yesterday all by myself. I felt lonely. All right, yesterday I added another $20 to the stack. Where is it? There it is. Another $20 to the stack at $43,444. Looks like Bitcoin is at 42.9 right now. And so we're gonna continue with the premise of the show. Stacking a little bit at a time. Can you afford $10 a day? Maybe. That's $50 a week. About $200 a month, right? $200 a month. You know, slow and steady. It's better than being at zero. And next thing you know, you're gonna look up and you're like, whoa, am I up 33%? Stack for the kids. That's right. That's right. Stack for the kids and stack for the things that you want to do. Stack for the lifestyle you want to have when Bitcoin pumps out of this galaxy. Okay. All right. So that's a stack. Now you know where we're at. 10.4 million Satoshis. And today we're gonna do a little $20 stack. Okay, $20 stack. Okay. So that is the stack recap. Let's get into what we came to do. Time to stack some sets. Oh yeah, right now. All right, we're gonna buy $20 worth of Satoshi, $20 worth of Bitcoin, $20 worth of Satoshis. Maybe this buy. Take my screenshot. Ah, yeah. Makes me happy to stack. Okay. Just like that. Just like that. Cut the music. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Jeez, that's so fast. The stack is on its way. All right, our stack is on its way. We can end that drum roll, and just like that. One more day of stacking. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I know I said I was done with the show, but I'm not. I just needed a day off or two. And I missed doing the show yesterday. It really made me sad. Stacking all by myself over here, right? But I see the growth, right? From streaming to Just Leonard, from streaming to Just Leonard, you know, to getting people to come in here and start to become regulars, right? I know it takes time, and I'm okay with that. I'm seeing the growth in the channel. I'm seeing the subscribers start to slowly go up. I'm seeing the watch time on the channel slowly go up. That's good. Let's keep stacking episodes one day at a time. Keep stacking sats one day at a time. And let's update our spreadsheet with today's buy. Let's go. This song makes you happy too. Yeah, I'm good with that. J-Dub. I've been doing a fishing show for the past 2-3 years, and we've been stagnant at like 600 subscribers, something like that. And I just really enjoy doing that show, and I don't care about the subscribers on that show, but I'm kind of adopting the same philosophy here. I'm seeing more growth on this channel than that channel, right? So if I'm still doing that channel with that little growth, why not do this channel that's actually succeeding, right? So anyway, keep it going. So we bought today at 43,039. I haven't heard back from Peter, but I actually set up an interview with let's see what's his name again, with messages with Adam Meister, dude. He's like an OG Bitcoiner. So he said he's willing to do it, and I'm gonna record. We'll probably just do a live stream, dude. But I have this format that I used. I have this format that I used to use for my spearfishing podcast. I'm gonna adapt it to be Bitcoin related, so we can kind of get a nice little format where we get to hear the guests talk about their days before they were Bitcoiners, talk about their orange pill story, and then talk about like the big lessons they've learned from becoming a Bitcoiner. And I think it's going to be a good format. It's very conducive to extracting a lot of value as far as like advice and helpful information from the guest. When bull market hits its stride next year, your subs will go way higher. J-Dub, yeah, that'll be awesome. J-Dub, when you come back, dude, we need to do an interview. I want to interview you on the show to try this new format out. It's a good format. You'll like it. All right. So that said, today we stacked 46,469 Satoshis to our stack. And that brings us to 10.4 million Satoshis. Just like that. Just like that. Slow and steady. You don't have to do $10 a day. You don't have to do $20 a day. You can do, the minimum is $10, but anyway, you don't have to do $10 a day. You can do $20 a week, $50 a week, $100 a week, whatever you feel comfortable with. But the point is to get off of zero and keep stacking like a maniac, right? And keep stacking like a maniac. What do you say? What do you mean keep stacking like a maniac? Keep stacking like a maniac, okay? Don't buy stuff you don't need. Don't go out to eat when you can cook at home. Do all the things you need to do to save as much money as possible and invest that money into Bitcoin. Because you know, and I know that you know that I know that you know that when you save in Bitcoin, the price of things goes down. Okay? When you save in Bitcoin and you start to see things in terms of Satoshis as opposed to dollars, the price of things goes down. So if you're whining and complaining that prices are going up and everything is too expensive, when you hear somebody complain that prices are going up and that things are getting too expensive, they're right. They are getting expensive in terms of dollars, because your purchasing power is getting leached away by inflation, right? That's by design. When you hear somebody say, man, the prices are going up, it's getting so expensive, you can say, that's right. That's the way the system is designed. It's designed to keep you poor. You want to know how to make prices come down, and then you got yourself a conversation, right? You can explain to them. You can take this sheet, okay? Take my sheet, this tracking sheet that I've been using. Let's see, is it a sheet? I have it set up to be a template, okay? Let me see if the Nightbot puts up the link here. I have this sheet set up to be a template, and at any point, you can even use it as an example to show your friends, okay? Look, all our buys are in there, okay? All of our, well, this extra page has to do with my little burrito, milk, and bread index, right? I need to go buy a burrito today, see what the price is like. But basically, the cost of burritos since I started tracking that in October used to be 49,000 satoshis, 49,603 satoshis. The price of burrito today, well, who knows, right? But the price of a burrito on the 3rd of this month was only 33,764 satoshis, right? So you might say, yeah, it's the same price in terms of dollars, right? But in terms of satoshis, the prices are going down. So you take this little simple concept and you apply it to the rest of the things in your life that you have to pay for, right? And yeah, you save in satoshis, save in Bitcoin, because even though you have expenditures that require you to pay in dollars, your money is growing while it's waiting to be used if it's being held in Bitcoin, okay? So if I would have take all of this money, right? Let's do a little quick thing here. If I were to take all this money and add it all up to $62.91, right? That's my budget for milk for this amount of time, right? It's my budget for that much milk. Well, if I were to take that same money and have it in satoshis back here, it would have bought me a lot of satoshis, right? And then as I continued to buy milk, the price each time I bought milk, even if I had to convert from satoshis to dollars to pay for the milk, I'm ahead when I get to this spot because I've been paying less and less sats for that milk. So it's actually going to cost me less than $62.91 of the old money, of this money, right? Of the money that used to be more valuable, of the money that used to have more purchasing power. Okay. So anyway, it's a little visual, right? Another thing that I've been kind of working on, boys, is I got an iPad. I know I shouldn't be spending money on things, but I've been struggling with this drawing tablet thing that I've had for years, and it just never felt right. So I went and sold 2 graphics cards that I had in my stash. And iPads are expensive, dude. And I was like, man, I can't afford a brand new graphic. I can't afford a brand new iPad. So I started looking on OfferUp, and I found one for like half off. And I was like, yes. I found one. The guy just didn't use it. He bought it, didn't use it, and it's worked great so far. And it's actually the one I priced out new had less features and less space than the one I got used. And I mean, it was perfect, spotless. So now that that's done, and the reason I mention it here is I think I can figure out a way to link it up to the machine, to the computer, and I can draw on it more precisely and do like descriptions of things, like a whiteboard, right? Like a screen capture where I can draw the concepts out and make it a little bit easier to explain, a little bit easier to follow along. So I'll be doing some of that here soon. I just need to figure out how to hook it up to the computer and how to make it work. So yeah, Bitcoin incentives for sure. Awesome. Well, boys, with that said, You know how it is. It's time to roll. Time to roll this episode out. I'm so glad you guys are still here. So glad you guys came back. I don't know what I was thinking. I was tripping. But anyway, big day today, Thursday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right? Can you imagine? Dude, if Michael Saylor ever did my show, jeez. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to ask him. That's so funny. But you know what, Bill? Now that we're gonna experiment with the idea of interviewing people as well, what's the worst that could happen? He could say no, or he could just ignore me, right? Let's do the Wayne Gretzky here, right? You miss every shot you don't take. So I'm gonna take my shot. I'm gonna reach out to all these people. Michael Saylor too, why not? Shoot. What's the worst he could say? No? I'm too busy. Too busy being filthy rich. Like, all right. Good for you, Michael Saylor. Do what you want. All right. What up, Maddie? 22 more DCA days before spot ETF. Dang. Let's go. Bill, we should do it. Bill, we should do it. I'm on Instagram at Roman Castro. Also on X at Roman Castro, Bill. Let's figure out a way to communicate outside of the chat, and we'll set something up. Okay? You'll be my first guest. Because J-Dub is on his way back home soon, hopefully. Maybe J-Dub could jump in here. Even Matthew, if Matthew wants to be an interviewee, let's do it, dude. Let's do it. You can use the avatar if you want. If you don't want to show your face. If you ain't stack, that's right. That's right. So with that said, guys, we'll be back here tomorrow. Stack some more sats and hang out with you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And yeah, if you ain't stacking, ooh baby, you're slacking.